Alright, welcome back guys. Once your first time here, I'm Vision Hero Born Entertainment, bringing you guys another video. Taping you guys my review for The Walking Dead Season 11 Episode 14, The Rotten Core. Now if The Walking Dead is something you're interested in, don't forget to hit subscribe button down below, hit that bell icon, that I'm sharing Walking Dead content from me moving forward. Now let's begin. So we are at Episode 14 of The Walking Dead Season 11, The Rotten Core. Now, this is a mixed one for me, because there are parts of it that I liked, parts of it that I didn't like, and parts of it where it's just okay. I feel like this is an episode where there were certain things that I think played out good, but certain things that just didn't work out. And so here's where I stand with this one. So first off, we got the story with Rosita and Daryl. You got Sebastian, who sends them off on this mission to gather some cash from the safe house that he knows about. You know, they go out on this mission, find this woman in the safe house as well, and we learn that Sebastian has been sending people in there to retrieve this money, and that these are people who have gone into debt from the Commonwealth, and this is their way to possibly help them get out of debt and kind of return to their usual lifestyle. Now, that's an interesting concept, and I really like what they did there. There were certain moments here and there that I didn't really like. The scene where Daryl went to turn on the generator, I really didn't like. They had a lot of flashing lights. It was dark, and I feel like they used that as a way to disguise some of the Walker fights with Daryl, just because they knew like there were certain things that they couldn't do, so they just had that happen. So like we didn't question it. But you got him and Rosita who get there. They rescue her, and they end up getting trapped in there. But they end up being rescued by Mercer and Carol. Because earlier in the episode, you got Carol, who had set up to meet with Daryl for lunch. And he never showed up, so she ended up getting Mercer to go looking for Daryl. So you got them who show up. They try to escape, and the girl April ends up being killed by zombies after trying to escape. Which I feel like they were going for something, but since we don't really know this character that well, it didn't really hit the punch as much as we were hoping for. It definitely was an interesting idea of where they were going, but the whole punch didn't really hit, in my opinion. But then they get back, they get the cash to Sebastian. Sebastian pays them for their work, and you can kind of see the fractures building there with Mercer and Rosita and Daryl as they realize that, Sebastian, of course, is an asshole, and they need to, it's not worth their time to fight, but, they gotta do something there. And I also do kind of like the idea that they were pushed into this due to the fact that Sebastian kind of threatened their kids. I don't know, it was something, but I feel like it was a little bit of weak writing there where they could have done something better. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it was just okay there. But then you move on to the story with Aaron, Maggie, Gabriel, Negan, and the rest of the group back at the apartment building. Now we pick up there. You got the majority of the group kind of regroup, trying to figure out how to escape, but they want to also help the other survivors get out of there. And you got Toby, who's going around trying to hunt them down to get the weapons and kill anybody that doesn't speak. So you got the group who's trying to figure out a way to escape. You got Maggie and this new character Annie, who separate at the goes search and whatnot. And you get this nice conversation between the two of them. This new character, Annie, is the new wife of Negan. She's having a baby with him. This is where I get kind of, I don't know. I feel like they're pushing this in here to kind of connect with Maggie more. Where I feel like they're trying to push this whole Maggie and Negan relationship just to usher in this new spin-off series that we're getting. So, I don't know, it just feels a bit more of a forced, but at the same time I'm okay because it does add on to the tension that we've gotten with Maggie and Negan throughout the season. And she talks and tells Maggie about how, he still lives with what he did to her with killing off Gwen, and how he never kind of stops thinking about it. But it pretty much still haunts him, and she's still defending him, saying, we've all done things, she's done things, and that we're all not proud of, and this is, we have to live with what we've done, kind of that kind of thing. which is an interesting concept, a good way to kind of tie things back into the Maggie and Negan story. However, meanwhile, you got Negan, who is, going through trying to figure out a way to get out, and he ends up finding a commonwealth soldier who has intercepted Hershel, who had stowed away. He kills the soldier and ends up having to protect Hershel. Now, this is a part that I really didn't like, because you got Hershel, who ends up realizing that Negan is the one who killed Gwen. Now, that's fine and all, but then you got Hershel, who ends up holding him at gunpoint and is going to kill him. And this is the really frustrating part, because we already knew that we're getting this Negan and Maggie spinoff, so we know Hershel's not going to kill Negan, even if we didn't get that prior to the announcement prior to this episode. I think the majority of fans wouldn't believe Hershel would have killed an adult Negan. It just came off stupid. I just feel like it was very frustrating more because we knew this Negan spinoff was coming. A kid killing off Negan was even more stupid. So it just felt like a waste of time. Built up fake tension that we knew was going to go nowhere. And it just got frustrating. Meanwhile, you got Toby, who's trying to going around trying to find the weapons. And I feel like that should have been more of a bigger plot. I feel like they forgot about it, and meanwhile you're trying to focus on our main survivors trying to get out there. And every once in a while you have a small confrontation with a commonwealth soldier. But that was kind of the small background thing. And I wish they had pushed that more, and I think I would probably like the episode better. And I just feel like they needed to push that more. Toby was an interesting character. He was really good. And then you get towards the end of the episode, they decide to they figure out a way to escape and to protect these people and everything. And they end up, luring Toby to the roof. They all corner him and end up, he tries to talk them down, realizing that, they've turned on him and he's in trouble at this point. And at that point, Aaron just shoots him off the roof. And he falls, pretty much breaks his back and legs off the same roof that he pushed the other people off of at the end of the previous episode. And he ends up, I guess when he fell, the walkers or people he had killed who have now turned into walkers suddenly wake up and go over towards him and start attacking and pretty much devouring his head. And this is where I get frustrated, because you're telling me that these walkers felt like were just down there. They weren't even making any noise prior to Toby. All of a sudden, Toby falls to his pretty much death. And when he falls to the ground, it is such a cartoonish, stupid sound. And he falls to his death, and all that wakes them up. It just comes off as another stupid, idiotic moment. It was a cool death for the fact that he's paralyzed, he can't move, and he's just forced to lay there as the walkers attack him. Really cool and nice death there, but it certain parts of it just came off as stupid. And then we end the episode. Maggie decides to take the survivors and I guess take them back to Hilltop. I don't know how that really works to Negan, but she's gonna take them back to Hilltop, I guess. And you got Aaron and Gabriel, who decide to stay behind because they know, if anything goes wrong, it's gonna come back to them at the commonwealth. So they stay behind to, I guess, face the music and everything. Negan tells Hershel to go back to Hilltop with his mom and rebuild Hilltop. And then, once he's built Hilltop, grown up a bit more, come see him and they'll, I guess, settle their differences. And I guess from that point, Negan and Annie are going on their separate ways, and the rest of the survivors will move to Hilltop. It's confusing to me. I don't totally know what they're doing there. I don't know. It's fine. I just feel like they could have fixed that up a little bit more. I don't know. It just was a few things here and there that I felt like were just needed to be fixed up a bit. They had some good moments, but they definitely need to fix things up. Meanwhile, you do have Carol confronting Lance about what Sebastian did. However, it seems like Lance and Sebastian are working together because he was happy that they actually got the money. So I'm assuming Lance and Sebastian are working together in some way, which is interesting. I really do like that. And you got Lance, who kind of thinks that Carol's on his side. And you got Carol, who's seeing the cracks within the Commonwealth, seeing how Lance is pretty much a snake. And Lance thinks he can trust her, but as we pretty much can tell, Carol's like doing her usual scheme, gathering information, probably gonna turn on him eventually, which is a very interesting thing to see. I'd like to see how that plays out between her and Lance. Will she be the one to kill Lance? Because we know eventually he's most likely gonna be killed off. He's the villain right now, so at some point he'll most likely be killed off, or maybe arrested for I don't know. We'll have to see how that plays out, but I hope it's Carol that takes him down. I know, like, there's definitely arguments for, Daryl maybe, or Maggie, or maybe Aaron, due to what happened and the connection Toby has with Lance. If you wanted my guess, I would go with Maggie to kill Lance, and Carol will be the second best option. But then we got the big ending, because it is revealed that this group does not have the supplies that Toby and the Commonwealth soldiers have been looking for. And it's revealed that it was Leah who stole this, I guess, cargo that was being transported. Now, this is where I kind of get annoyed and somewhat frustrated, because we're in the middle of this big Commonwealth story arc, and we're only got like 10 episodes left for this season/series. We haven't even gotten to the Resist the Commonwealth story arc, and I feel like they're gonna divert this whole. I'm worried that they're gonna divert this whole thing to do another Leah's villain kind of story, and I'm just like, why couldn't we just kill her off in episode 9? Do we really need her here? What was the real point? It's kind of frustrating. I'm done with her character. Like, she should have died in episode 9. I don't totally understand why they kept her around. It's just complete and utter BS, and I'm just frustrated that they're gonna most likely waste time on this stupid Leah story, while we should be getting more with the Commonwealth and moving into the more Resist the Commonwealth story arc. So I'm just a little frustrated about that, and I don't know. I like what they did with Leah here. I know she has military background, but I also find it a little bit ridiculous that she was able to take out these Commonwealth soldiers. I mean, yeah, she's got military and mercenary training, but these are, soldiers, and they should have been able to handle themselves. Plus their armor, how did she easily take them down that armor? It just looks ridiculous even more. Plus Toby's armor, you were able to shoot him and kill him. The way they present the armor, it looks like it should be bulletproof, or people should have a hard time killing them. So that just also annoyed me. But yeah. I'm just frustrated about this whole Leah thing. I hope it doesn't go on too long, but I have a bad feeling it might. Yeah, guys, that's my review of The Walking Dead Season 11, Episode 14, The Rotten Core. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to give a big thumbs up and share. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. Hit that bell icon. That'll miss more Walking Dead content from me moving forward. And go follow me on Instagram and Twitter, which I linked in the about section of my YouTube channel. As always, I'm Vision Hero Boy Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.